Thanks for staying with us. Now on the show, joining us right now is the CMD of Luth, that's the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo. Good morning, sir. Thanks for calling.
Good morning. Thank you so much for
I wish I could get some volume. I can hardly hear you. Thank you so much. Let's start with this young man, Dr. Umoh Michael, who passed on. On social media, all the reports that have been coming to us says that he was on call for 72 hours and died on Sunday. Could you tell us exactly your own version of this report that we're hearing?
So, thank you very much. I was informed of Dr. Umoh's death on Sunday, late in the night, by one of his consultants. So I waited till the following day to get more information. But before I go on, we have visited the family, and the family is saddened with the event and the fact that the thing has gone viral. They wanted something privacy, and they don't want us to go into some details. But we told them that we also have, in as much as we are not going to do that, because that is the right thing to do. We also have a responsibility as a hospital funded by taxpayers' money, and also the Minister of Health, Dr. Ali Pate, and the entire top management of Federal Minister of Health are also worried and bothered about what we see on the net. So we need to say our own side of the story. So immediately I called the head of the department and also the head of the unit. I wanted to find out particularly the issue of the 72-hour call. So I called them and they gave me the detail of what happened. Dr. Umoh was on call twice this month. He was on call for the first time 7th and 8th of the month, September, and also was on call between 13th and 14th. So he was not on call on the 15th, 16th, and 17th when he died. So it is entirely not true that he was on call for 72 hours. However, how did you get to be? Some people, some of his colleagues, they were worried and they were saddened, and they decided to just push something on the internet. The so-called letter that I saw on the internet was addressed to me. But as I'm talking to you now, I've not seen that letter, and I'm not sure I'm going to see that letter because when they realized that there was an error in the issue of the 72 hours, they decided not to send it. So I'm telling you that we visited the family. The family gave us the circumstances surrounding his death. And they didn't want us to go public because even if they want us to, we can't do that as a healthcare professional. So the truth of the matter is that I was not on call for 72 hours. The last time I was on call was on the 14th, so the early morning of 16, and was not on call on the whole of 15, 16, and 17. That is the situation. It is unfortunate that the young, vibrant, hard-working guy, and have the whole world in front of him. And the untimely death is quite unfortunate.
Right. Let me get a few questions in. Let me get a few questions in for you.
Sir, can you help us confirm if he had any underlying issues? Maybe
he doesn't want to talk.
They don't want to talk about. Okay, they don't want to talk about that. Okay. So for second question.
Okay,
that's fine. All right, that's fine.
It's also not right for us to say that.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want to pass any comments on that.
Okay, that's fine. So I also wanted to ask, what is the longest time a doctor has to be on call, and how do you checkmate to ensure they don't overwork their time? Yeah, overwork themselves.
Yes, the management has a responsibility, and also the consultant and the unit also have a responsibility. The unit, which is neurosurgery unit of surgery, they have a routine. All about 3 or 4 doctors that are there. They want to do calls for 2 days, and they give them a space of 4 days to rest. That is what is the policy of the unit and of the unit.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't get that. Okay, so
they have the call of the unit, so the consultant was for whoever it is.
For 4 days.
Okay, all right. Any questions
before the end of 14 days? If it's longer than 4 days, depending on the number of doctors on ground. But that is the policy of. We had a meeting with them, and we saw the details of the.
Professor, let me before I let you go, let me just ask you this question. I mean, why would his colleagues make such an unfounded allegation? I mean, could there be something that has led to this where they also feel overworked and they saw an opportunity to reinforce this issue from their colleague's death? I mean, why would they come up with this kind of story?
Honestly, it's my imagination. I don't know why they would.
Have you?
They would have done that. Honestly, I'm reliably informed that they have realized that that is not the correct thing to have stated, particularly to have sent to the public space.
Okay.
Okay.
So, let me let you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. So I'd like to find out, I know that because these guys are young, they are, what's the right word now? They could go overboard in a bit. I want to learn a bit of neurosurgery. I want to learn family medicine. Is there any form of counseling that you guys have with them? Is there a platform where they can express themselves if they're going through stuff beyond the routines of the work?
Yes. I'm very much aware that all the departments, there are processes and procedures. And if you think that you have a complaint, we have many layers of reporting from the unit, from the consultant to the unit head, to the head of department, and to the CMAC of the hospital, then finally the chief medical director. They know. We gave them orientation when they came in, and they know that. Because we know that it's more like a check and balance kind of a thing. Because don't forget that all of us that we work in public space, all of us are human beings with different attitude and whatever. So the question is that they know, and we told them, we had orientation with them when they came in, and we told them, if you have any complaint, tell your consultant, senior registrar, consultant, unit head, head of department, CMAC of the hospital, then if we don't get any positive response, then the chief medical director.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, could we just go back to the question you answered earlier, Maria asked, and you talked about the young, his colleagues that may have put out a false information. I would just like to know what will happen now. Is there going to be like a proper investigation to find out why they made such allegations? And
Definitely. The ministry has instructed us to do proper investigation.
Good. And if there are reasons for them to have said that, maybe not particularly about this young man who has sadly passed away, but just the condition of their work, would this, I'm just afraid that young doctors may be punished or used, for daring to speak out on something as sensitive as this. I'm just wondering what the steps would be.
I don't think they need to have any fear of being punished.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that if we are going to make our system better, we have to report.
Okay.
We need to report. We need to encourage them to say, if you see something, say something.
All right.
But now that this has happened, it will be irresponsible of us not to go into the depth of the matter. And that is what we are going to do. That is what the Ministry of Health has instructed us to do. That is what the Federal Minister of Health and Social Welfare has instructed me to do, and we are going to do that.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me let you go at this time. Professor Umoh, he's the Chief Medical Director of Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
So now we have it from their own, and that's the official. The official stand is that the young man was on call on the 13th and the 14th. He wasn't on call on the 15th and 16th, and unfortunately, he died on the 17th.
Yeah.
And so you can't hold them responsible that his friends had come up with this false story and put this letter out there. Unfortunately, he didn't even get the letter. But it seems like when they already knew that the circumstances around his death did not involve 72 hours of work, maybe they withdrew the letter. But that's not the case, and it's important that the cable news and other blogs and who carried it should retract it and do it properly, because it's not about just getting trending and it's all about getting the right information. So now that we have the information from the medical directors, it's important that they also do another rejoinder to say this is exactly what happened.
And we'll also wait to hear about the investigation, because I feel this would open up a lot of issues that are underlying.
Exactly, because any routine and scheduling and all that for medical.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so for also the doctors that are still alive and working, they must prioritize their health.
Yeah.
They must check themselves. They must rest when they need to rest. And one of the reasons we highlighted, or I highlighted the church, was because it happened in the church. If it had happened in his girlfriend's house, I will personally hold the girlfriend responsible. He should be sleeping. If it had happened in the pub, you know, wherever you find yourself, if you need to rest, please take that time and rest. And also do regular checks. You are working, the kind of work you're doing, most times they are standing, they are moving, you know, it's a lot, it's intense. You must prioritize yourself.
And we must have a system that allows for doctors to take rest without repercussions.
Let me take this call. I have to wrap up, but I have a call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Please, it's so sad to hear this kind of sudden of a young, vibrant, promising medic. You know, from what the CMD said, it's not really clear. Because I don't know a system that will allow a person to work above 24 hours. He said he works on 14 and on 15. 14 to 15 cannot be less than 24 hours. 24 hours is a whole lot for a human being to work.
Work like that.
Well, that is on that. For the issue of, you know, we have a practice in this part of the world, especially when it comes to the issue of rest. And if it comes to the weekend and you're supposed to go to church, you go to church. If you look at it, if you do not go to church, you are committing the biggest kind of sin. Let us find time to rest, because our system is not wired to work without rest. Even engines are supposed to rest after certain working hours. And again, lastly, please, I want to say, in church, most of the churches today, when you go to the church has now turned to like a disco hall or even maybe a club. The kind of sound systems we find in most churches today is just too much. You come back from church with headache. So I think we need to look at this thing holistically.
Right. Thank you very much, Amos. So, working 13 to 14, really across the world, doctors work like that. They run it throughout hours. It's 2 days on, 2 days off, like that. So it's not
sometimes it can
peculiar.
be in the middle of surgery and it takes that long to help a patient. So
it's kind of, but the most important thing is that they're allowed to rest. The issue of the church angle, which is the angle I was trying to look at it from, because Miriam said we shouldn't make it a church issue, which is absolutely not. But the reality is there are people who feel that if they don't go on that Sunday, they are going to get in trouble. I know I've been there. I've been a worker, and I even said it that the other time when Pastor Bola was here from the US. I told her that when I'm coming from the club, I would change in the car, because Pastor Mattel was not here, that he did not show up at 7:30, at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Are you okay? So in the car from the club, I've been dancing all night. Clubbing at 4 a.m. or driving all the way.
So I entered collapse in church. Who would you blame? Would you blame the church or the fact that you knew you were meant to be in church at a certain time? I did not take the time to rest.
Plus me that did not take rest. Plus the pastor that demanded I show up. All of us, we all got to join. You know, so that's the reality we are with. But let me take this call before we wrap up. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You're calling from UK.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I heard what the director of the Luth have said, actually. But I want to you people to look at it in this way. Now, the professor said there is a format of how many hours that the doctors have to work per week. That is the formal report that was given. There is always an informal side of it, that if there are no doctors on ground, they will have to force all these house doctors to work compulsorily. And if they don't do that, they will have issues at the end of the day. It happens to me too when I was in Nigeria. Though I'm not a doctor, but I work with an institution whereby we have to work on our schedule. On the letter that was given when you are being employed is 9 to 5. But there is always a side of it that if you don't do some overtime hours, you will have issues at the end of the day. Maybe during your promotion, they will wait for you there. Or when you need something, they will not give it to you. So with all these things, that is where the problem of the system really is. not really the former side of it that the professor was actually talking about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I love his point of view. Very, very typical. So unless we get that informal part, I mean, the story still remains a bit unclear. But Morayo, judging from your analogy, I think the church is more of the victim. I'm not trying to make this a church, a church wala. But I think the church is more of the victim, because the person that goes to club will club all night and go to church and anything can happen there. The person that goes to work will work. I know. Okay, so because I'm an accountant, I have a number of friends who are auditors. They'll be coming from me now. They've been there for 3 weeks, so they will come straight to church. I think the church will start to say, please, when you're coming in, make sure you're coming from home and you're rested. Don't bring your stress here.
Don't come and blame us. Calling us out in social media because of your problem.
She's a victim now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up. Any final thoughts? Okay, I have a call. Ngozi, I believe. Fire. Good morning. Calls are coming in now. Hello, Ngozi. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm calling.
Yay! Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from here.
From where?
Hello?
Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Hello?
Go on.
Oh, yikes. I'm so sorry. We lost Ngozi. I do apologize for that. I think that's all we can take on this segment. May the soul of Dr. Michael Umoh rest in peace. It's really sad that he had to die. And let's give the family the time to some privacy on this matter, to grieve for their loss. Let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.